Hello, my name's Keith. I'm one of the founders of Look What We Found. We produce a range of ready meals, soups and sauces. Look What We Found was our voyage of discovery, where we went about finding passionate producers and farmers who made great ingredients. We also went about finding a cooking process that was traditional yet unique, that could make best use of those ingredients, and then we went around finding recipes that were a little unusual and unique and very tasty and wholesome. And we put them all together with one objective, and that was to make great tasting food. Today I'd like to introduce you to Roger Mason and his family, who produce our British rosé veal. Their story is truly different and is worth telling. Over to you, Roger.
Hi, I'm Roger Mason from Heaves Farm in the South Lakes, and this is my family, my wife Carol and my son Gary, and we produce rosé veal for Look What We've Found. My great-granddad came to the neighbouring farm on the Levens Hall estate just over 100 years ago, and I'm the fourth generation of dairy farms at Levens Hall. But our dairy farming goes back way before that as tenant farmers all over the county. But we've just started doing the rosé veal 2 years ago. I'd like to think that we're producing something that's a little bit special here. We've won the Best Managed Farm at Westmoreland County Show. This year we've won the Best General Stock for all our stock. Dairy cows, sheep, young stock, rosé veal animals. This is our new building that we put up 12 months ago for the rosé veal enterprise. We try to make it as light and airy as possible, so it has all the benefits of being outside, but yet it's under cover, keeps the straw dry. Basically, we've just tried to give the calves plenty of room, plenty of light and plenty of air. We are basically a dairy farm producing milk. For that cow to produce milk, it has to have a calf every 12 months or somewhere near every 12 months. Half the calves are actually male calves. The female calves go through at 2 years old to come into the dairy herd to produce milk again, and in the past the male calves have been disposed of, whereas now we've got a use for those animals. Many people, when they first come on farm or they imagine a veal calf, is what they think this is, but this is the very first stage of a veal calf's life, and it is totally different to what you will see when they get to 8 months old. Calves, some of these calves are our own, that we bred from our own dairy herd, and some have been brought in from local farms. We've 6 or 7 local farmers who provide us with calves. They come on farm at between 2 and 3 weeks old. They're bedded on straw. Try to keep as much straw in the pen as possible to keep them dry and clean. And what it's like in here in winter, all right, we'll probably shut the top doors and the bottom doors stop draft or whatever. But really, it's like being out in the open air. That the air in here is fresh, and it's the sun shining in, and they are comfortable. This is the collar that goes around onto each calf. It just contains a buckle so we can keep it to the right length around its neck. On it has a number so it can identify each calf, and a transponder so that when the calf comes in to have its drink of milk, it'll record what it's drunk and more so what it hasn't drunk, so we can check on its well-being. And on the bottom is a little weight, not a heavy weight, just to keep the collar in place. Calf has just come into because it's entitled for a drink. The transponder's clipped in the box to mix the milk and open the valve, and now milk coming up the pipe and allowing it to drink. Once it's drunk its milk, it will then back out. If it's still hungry, there is feed, dry feed available for it. There's always straw in the trough. These calves are actually come into this one stall, and because they come into a stall, they aren't disturbed by any of the other calves bullying them and pushing them off. They actually are given the milk that they're entitled to, and have peace and quiet to drink it in their own time. One thing that people don't realise about these calves is that even our milk cows, our dairy cows, the Holstein Friesian dairy cows, actually stay inside for 7 months of the year, purely because the weather outside for the 7 months of winter is miserable, cold, wet, drafty, windy. Grass doesn't grow outside in winter, and also it poaches the ground. It gets too wet and it just turns to a mud bath. And most of our cows would rather be inside in winter as been out in a horrible weather as you would do. We produce rosé veal, which we believe is a totally different product to white veal. White veal is an animal that is kept on slats or on a concrete so it can't eat anything else but milk. It will only drink milk. A white veal calf will grow till it's 16 to 20 weeks old. By the time it goes, it will be drinking 20 to 22 litres of milk a day, and that will all it will have in its lifetime. Rosé veal, we feed them on milk till they're 8 weeks old. We feed them to a maximum of 7 litres, which then encourages them to eat a dry concentrate or a blend. They go onto a starter pellet and then onto the blend after that. From then on, they will live till they're 8 months old. They're bedded on straw. They will nibble the straw and eat the straw. They will eat the blend, and there's always fresh water available. What we're trying to produce is a finished article. You can see from when they come on as small calves how narrow and small they are. We're trying to put the meat onto to fill out the loin and the buttocks, and just to put weight onto this animal to try and get it to be a saleable product. Well, I think it's a better product than beef because it's so much taste and tender flavour. And I always compare it, and alright, people like mutton, but I always compare it to spring lamb as to mutton. Mutton's probably got a little bit more taste, but it's always just that little bit tougher, whereas spring lamb is so tender, just like the rosé veal. So that you know that if you're eating British rosé veal, that it's been welfare reared. There's not a problem with it, and it's been in reared in conditions like this where it's been happy and healthy.